This may be a surprising fact that strong glutes can significantly reduce knee pain. Your glute muscles, especially the gluteus, medius, and maximus, help stabilize your pelvis and control the alignment of your knees. Weak glutes can lead to poor movement patterns, causing your knees to cave inward, valgus collapse, increasing stress on the joints. Strengthening your glutes improves knee tracking, absorbs better impact, and reduces strain, leading to happier, pain-free knees. We're going to work specific exercises to strengthen glutes as well as glute activation and stability. Welcome back, everybody, to 360 Strong Women. Today, we are going to make your knees feel better and get them stronger by making our glutes stronger. It's important that we strengthen the gluteals and the hamstrings in order for our gait to be a little bit better. That's going to take some pressure off our knees. Most of us are what we call quad dominant. We do a lot of squats. We work the front of our body because we're moving in this direction all the time. And so we get weak gluteals. Or if we sit a lot because we have to work through the day, our glutes can get weak. So we want to strengthen the glutes. That's going to help strengthen the knees and make them feel better, a little stronger, and have more movement, better quality of life. And so that's what this video is all about today. It's not going to be too long. We're going to warm up dynamically as we always do. And I want you to get a loop if you have one. We're going to use this one for a standing one because it's really tight for some hamstring curls. Now you can do this without a loop. Don't panic. If you have these, let's go ahead and use them. And you know how much I love these fabric loops. They wash really well, they wear really well. Now this is a little bit of a lighter one because you can see it better on camera for me, for you. Also, it gives me a little bit better range of motion for some of the exercises we're going to do to strengthen those glutes. So we're adding resistance, like adding a dumbbell, onto the exercise that we're doing for the glutes. Now, do you have to have these? No, you don't have to. We're going to work those muscles regardless. But just if you need a little up level or a little something extra, you can add these. So we're going to go ahead, make sure you have water, right? I'm always touting the water. You want to stay hydrated. Hydration brings your metabolic system up. Hydration is going to help push lactic acid out so that when we work these glutes, they don't hurt so much. And we want to flush out that lactic acid. We're going to warm up dynamically, do our gluteal exercises, all glutes. Nothing else today. Are we going to be doing secondary movers? Yes. So are you going to feel it maybe in your quads, in your hamstrings, around the abdominal belt? Absolutely. But that's not the primary mover. We're going to work in those 3 gluteal muscles and we're going to get you going. Then I'm going to stretch you out. So I don't want to make it too long, but I want to make this one of those that you put on your list as a yes, I'm going to do this. And then, as always, if you have any questions, just leave me a comment below and I can get back to you. So, Beth, I didn't really catch what you were doing. Could you slow that down for me? Could you explain it more? I can certainly do that. No problem. And don't forget, our action point for today, other than the exercise, is to hit that button, like, subscribe, and share so that we can build our community. Move this into the algorithm so we can get in front of a lot of people, and that's going to help them, give them the information that they need, good information that they need to strengthen their glutes as well. So that is the whole of the goal. We as women always want to uplift other women. We're a tribe, and if you are over 30, over 40, over 50, I'm 62, so we've got a lot of uphill climbing to do as we get into those seasons of life where our estrogen starts to drive into the floor and become nothing. And so we have issues with maybe bloating, weight maintenance, achy joints. So maybe your knees are, getting a little achy. What do? We strengthen the muscles around the joint systems to help our joints feel better. And then we do all those other things like stretching and soaking and taking good care of our body. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to warm up. I'm going to begin by just stepping side to side. Hope everybody's having a great day. Now you can warm up any way you want. You don't have to be following me. She's going left, I'm going right, it doesn't matter. Just move your body, but move it dynamically. And then we're going to mimic a couple of those things we're going to do in a standing position, just so that I can work around the leg joint, work around the hip joint for you. But I always want to bring my arms up over my head, and that's going to start bringing my metabolic system up. Even though we're not doing a cardio thing today, we want to light that fire in our system and start burning those calories. And I'm not using my arms, but I want them to be moving. I want oxygen coming through my body. So yeah, I'm going to move them. And I might circle them around. Just range of motion. Always want that range of motion. Then I'm going to rinse out my spine, because I'm always working into the core when I'm exercising. And then I might squeeze at my obliques a little bit. Get those nice and warmed up. This is not just going to help you with your workout, it's going to help you throughout the day with movement. You have to warm up your muscles. Now I'm going to take my hip flexors back, because what? I'm going to use them because they're attached in the front, and I'm going to be working those glutes. So they're going to be secondary movers. Then I want to bring my knees up to my chest and start to open up those glutes. And then I'm going to cross it over. Get a little abs in there. A little transverse movement, a little rotation. And then I might want to press and kick that around and open up around the hip joint, around the glutes. They're moving. Doesn't have to be too high. It's not like a roundhouse kick, not that high, just move them around. And I'm going to swing my leg and open it up. It's range of motion, nice and fluid. Remember your chain. Feet are stable, ankles move. Knees are stable. We want your knees not to be shifting when we're out. Now you may need to take your hips around a little bit. And I'm going to squat down. Beth, I thought you weren't doing legs. Well, squatting helps those glutes, yeah? We're not going to be doing too many of these today. We're not working glutes that way today. And this pushes into quadriceps too. And if you're already quad dominant, then we want to change it up a little bit for you. But I do want to move them and load the legs so that my squats get really good. Always practicing, but I open up those glutes. All right, take that big breath up. Exhale that away. All right, notice that I've rolled my shoulders back, my apples under my chin, so my neck's in a neutral position, and my head is over my shoulders, so not out here. I want to make sure my neck is always safe. First thing we're going to do is a standing exercise. Then we're going to be down on the ground. I'm going to get my little red loop. It's very tight. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to do some hamstring curls and some leg kickbacks. So I'm going to show you. So if you have a little loop, this would be where you're putting it on. If you don't have one, you can get a cup of water. Notice that they're down at my ankles, so they're not hiked up. When I put on the other band, it's going to be around my quadriceps, around my hips. I'm going to roll my shoulders back and do this from the side for you. sit up really nice and tall. I want to dorsiflex so my toes are coming towards my knees. And then I'm going to lift up for that hamstring curl, bring it down, and then push it back. Lift up, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. One more. Beautiful. Now you may feel that in your glute on your standing leg. That's okay. You're doing the work around both of them, but you may feel that in that standing leg. Remember, my foot is going to be stable. I'm not rocking. I'm not rocking. I'm pushing and using the muscle. Pull the pit of the belly in and up. Roll the shoulders back up onto the chin. Dorsiflex. Lift up. Push back. Lift up. Push back. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. That's 4. This is 10. We're going to go to 15. This is non-repeat workout. Non-repeat meaning we're not going to go back to this after we're done. We're going to go on to a different exercise. Two more. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Last one, best one. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, and inhale. And you may feel that in your hips. So you may have to rotate them out just a little bit. Go side to side. Stretch them out a little bit. Then I'm going to take off this loop. I'm going to go ahead and put on the other loop. And then I'm going to get a drink of water. So while you're changing loops, and then come back down to the mat and meet me on the mat. I've selected exercises that are going to be very effective and efficient. Are there other exercises? Of course there are. We're not going to pick all of them today. So what I'm going to do is I've got my loop on. So if you're wearing your loop, good for you. If not, don't worry about it. And we're going to make tabletop. So 2 fists between the knees and stack. We want to be in alignment. Now, we're going to do all of our mules, or what we call donkey kicks. And I see a lot of people do it like this, right? What happens is we put a lot of pressure on our wrist flexor and extensor. So if you have any kind of wrist issues, I want you to come down to your forearms. And now you're in a decline tabletop. And that's okay to be there. Now you can really focus on those glute muscles. The other thing I would suggest is if this hurts your knees at all, because my knees are on my hard floor, you can take your mat and roll it up in the back and add cushion. I'm a wayfinder here. I will find a way for you to do this effective, efficient, safe, and get it done. So I want to pull the pit of the belly in and up. I'm going to keep my apple under my chin, looking to the end of my mat. I don't want to torque my neck. I'm going to dorsiflex my toes, and then I'm going to lift up. So I want to lift like I'm pushing a tile out of my ceiling, and then bring my knee back to my knee. So like you're pushing at the sky with the bottom of your foot. You're going to exhale as you lift. Inhale as you bring back your knee to the other knee for recovery. All right, here we go. Going 15. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. That's 3. Exhale. Inhale. 4. Exhale. Inhale. 5. Exhale. Inhale, 6, exhale. Inhale, 7, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. That's 10. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, what I like to tell everybody is if you need to sit back into child's pose and kind of stretch out around the hip, you can do that. You can also come back to your wrist and slide into your hip side to side. It's called wag the tail or wag the dog. Either one helps if you need that. It's effective, it works. Then we're coming back for the other side. Tucking the toes, lifting up. 1, 2, inhale, exhale. 3, don't hold your breath. 4, 5, 6, 7, very nice. 8, you can feel it, I can feel it. 9, 10, 5 more. 5, count down with me. 4, 3, you've got this. 2, 1 more, and 1. And again, if you feel the need for a little child's pose, it's wonderful. If you need to wag the tail, wag the dog, you can. You can sit down into your hips also. And you can do it dynamically. It doesn't have to be a static stretch or in mover. But when you go back down to your decline tabletop, I always want you to recheck your hips in case they slide in together. I still want you to be in alignment and stacked. So my hip stacks over my knee to my ankle, my shoulder, elbow, and wrist. Always in alignment, stacking the body. Now I'm going to come up, working around that glute, over like a curtsy, knee over knee, up and back. So we call that up, over, up, and back. 3, up, over, up, and back. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 5, over, up, and back. Last 10, over, up, and back. Just 9, over, up, and back. 8, up, over, up, and back. 7, up, over, up, and back. 6, up, over, up, and back. 5, up, over, up, and back. 4, up, over, up, and back. 3, up, over, up, and back. 2 more. You've got this. 1 more. Up, over, up, and back. And again, sliding back, wagging the dog, or shifting into your hips. All good, all acceptable. You're pushing the lactic acid out. That's what we want, so you're not so sore after you tear these muscles up and rebuild them and make them stronger. Makes the knees happier. All right, we're still working these donkeys. What we're going to do now, come back down. I've checked my form, and I am going to come up and lift it up and hold it up and then give it pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then bring that down. Almost done on this leg. Now I'm going to flip over so that you can see that side, but you're just going to switch legs. So I want my leg to come straight out. I'm going to point my toe here and circle it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Then I'm going to go the other way. Circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'm going to get nice and loose at the ankle joint and swim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Woo! My booty's on fire. So it's working. All right, so that is working. We're going to do the other side. So I turned around so that you could see me, but you're just going to switch legs. I do want you to recheck always your form. Form over everything else. So I'm coming down, I'm hip width, I'm dorsiflexed, and I work. I'm coming up, over, up and back. That's next. Up, over, up, and back. 2, up, over, up, and back. 3, up, over, up, and back. 4, up, over, up, and back. 5, up, over, up, and back. 6, up, over, up, and back. 7, up, over, up, and back. 8, up, over, up, and back. 9, up, over, up, and back. 10, up, over, up, and back. That's 5, up, over, up, and back. 4, up, over, up, and back. 3, up, over, up, and back. 2 more, up, over, up, and back. Last one, up, over, up, and back. And then again, you can shift into that if you need to. You may feel this on one side more than the other side. Remember that we're not necessarily biomechanically balanced, so one side may be weaker than the other. That's okay. All right, coming up all the way, and a little more, and a little more, and then pulse. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! You should feel that. Leg goes straight. Point the toe, circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Loosen up that ankle joint and swim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You should definitely feel that. We're going to go ahead and work out onto our side. If you need to, just bring your knee in and out a little bit. If you need like to stretch that out a little bit, that's okay. I'm restacking my body now. Different plane of motion, but still working around those gluteal muscles. Notice when you swim, you're getting those rotator muscles, one of them being the piriformis, right, that connect your glutes to your hamstrings. A lot of people get piriformis syndrome and feels really tight in the gluteal, right? Especially my runners or people that sit a lot. So they may get dead butt syndrome or piriformis syndrome. So it's painful and it hurts. You need to stretch it properly. You'll be rolling, stretching, and doing the physical therapy, doing the therapies that you need. These exercises that you need to help strengthen that, not just your knees. All right, wrist to elbow, elbow to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. So I'm not here and I'm not here, right? I'm sitting right on my IT band, which again, if this feels funny, roll your mat up and add a little cushion to it. It's okay. Always check yourself and make sure that your elbow's not too far in front of you, that you're actually stacked, right? And then find comfort for your neck. All right, so my ankles are going to connect at the heel. My resistance band is ready, and I'm going to lift up and bring it down. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. That's 3, 4. So side clams, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then I'm just going to lift my legs. So I've got space between my legs, and all I'm going to do is pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Working the IT band, but it's going to connect back to that sciatic nerve, back into those glutes. Adduction and abduction, important mover for both knees and glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to switch sides, and we want to reset our form. And then we're going to go into a supine position and work our bridge and our glutes. Wrist to elbow, elbow to shoulder. Make sure your elbow and your shoulder are up under each other. Shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. My knees are bent, my ankles are connected. And I'm just going to open up. Exhale, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and one more, 15. I'm going to hover here and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Got a few extra in there because I lost count on the other side. All right, now we want to be supine position, meaning supine on the spine. I want to make sure that my low back is nice and stable when I land. And then again, 2 fists between my knees and drop them down. My hip flexor is going to follow my knees, going to follow my ankle. That means I'm in a neutral position. I'm not hanging out this way, externally rotated at the hip, and I'm not internally rotated, tapping in, right? A lot of us women have interior thighs, your inner thighs are weak. And so what do we need to do to get those strong? Strengthen the leg muscles, but strengthen those glutes. And that strengthening, that's also going to help the gait with your knee joint. So everything is connected, and we need to do these exercises so we feel better when we walk, when we sit, when we run, when we stand, so that our knees not doing weird things. So the first thing I want to do is drive my heels into the mat and lift up, right? Into bridge. Now, if you need to hold your body up a little bit more, you can put your triceps down here, what we call robot arms. Fingers up. If you don't need that, I like to put my hands right here on my hip flexors just to make sure I'm not externally rotating or, collapsing, right? I want my hip flexor neutral to follow my knee, to follow my ankle, and I'm hip width. And then I'm going to lift up, tap down, inhale, exhale, lift up. Tap down, inhale, exhale, lift up. So just doing those nice pelvic tilts, that's going to help all that whole area. Squeeze your glutes when you lift. Squeeze them. Don't let them just hang there. Exhale. Inhale. 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 2 more. Exhale. And inhale. Down. Now, you could, once you get your low back stable, you could bring your knees to your chest and open up that low back if that feels a little tight, right? And that could. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to go into supine butterfly, meaning I'm on my spine, I'm laying down, and I'm going to put the bottoms of my feet together. That's why I have the lighter band here, because I have range of motion now. My legs are externally rotated out into butterfly, like if I were to do Supta butterfly from yoga, but this is actually going to be an exercise. So what I want to do is put my arms on the ground if you haven't done this before. If you're working core, you can put your arms up here. Then I'm going to lift my glutes up off the ground, squeeze them tight, and then tap down. So I'm doing external pelvic tilts. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Lift up, exhale, inhale. Working around the gluteal muscles. Remember, there's 3 muscles back there, minimus, medius, and maximus. And we want to work them all so we have good balance in the back. Good balance, good strength, and everything else can get strong too. Exhale, inhale, pull in the pit of the belly, in and up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 2 more. Exhale, inhale, 1 more. Exhale, and inhale. Now I'm going to come back to bridge. So 2 fists between my knees, my legs come down. So I'm going to lift up and then externally rotate my legs out, like knees to each side, bring them back to neutral and tap down. Up, out, in, down. Up, out, in, down. Up, out, in, down. Up, out, in, down. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. One more. And then again, if you need to open up that low back, bring your knees towards your chest. You can even do happy baby if you need to, or half stirrup. Just to open up that cute out a little bit. So you should feel your lower back stabilized, but also open wide up. All right, we have hamstring pulses because we do want to work the glutes into the hamstring. So all those muscles that connect the back of the legs. And what's that going to help? That's going to help your knee joint. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'll make a shoulder shelf here and use my robot arms here. I'm going to drive my heel, lift up 1 leg at a time. 1, exhale, inhale. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1 more, and 15. I can also take my legs side to side if I need to, windshield wiper them out. I'm going to go to the other side here. Get my robot arms, lift up. 1, 2, 3, don't hold your breath. 4, please. 5, 6, 7, need oxygen. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1 more, and 15. Whoo. Lock that down, open that up, come side to side. So I'm going to stretch here. I have my band on still. You could take it off, but I'm not, no resistance. So when you do simple supine twist, whole of the goal is to make sure your shoulders are on the mat. Yes, I'm going to start to stretch you out now because your glutes and your low back should be tired. I'm going to switch sides. So again, shoulders are not lifting up. If this shoulder was starting to come up, these would be too far over. You can lay your shoulder down. You've got room. So you could even lengthen this out if you needed to. Meet yourself where you are. It's important. And then I'm going to restack my hips. Roll up nice and gently. Take this band off because we used it. Like I said, these are great. They wash really well. If you haven't found a good set, just leave me a comment below and I will send you the link to those. I've put them in other videos, the links, so hopefully everybody has a set by now. I'm hoping. All right, because you can use them for a lot of things. All right, first I just want to open everything up, right? Open my legs, open my hamstrings, open the low back, breathe up, exhale out. So I worked prone, right side, left side, and supine, and we did do standing right side, left side. What did we miss? We missed Bulgarian lunges or wide split lunges. We missed all the different lunges and all the different squats. However, that really works a lot of quads. Does it work around the glutes if you move your legs? And I do that with you when we work legs. So if you've been with me for a while, I'm making sure that we're getting around the muscles. If you're new here, welcome. Important. So I hear a lot of times, now the weather's getting nice, everybody wants to go out and run. My knees hurt, my knees hurt, my knees. Doing some things that are going to help in that area. So you're walking, you're running, you're standing if you have to stand a lot, or just when you get up out of your work chair and then you have to walk around and you're stiff, right? So we want to make sure your gait is working for you so it doesn't jack up your hips or your ankles, right? So we always want to look above and below a joint when something's hurting. So if your knees are hurting, you want to look at your feet. You want to look at what's going on with your feet. Check your shoes. Make sure you don't need new shoes. Check your treads. That's the first thing. And then work some stability, mobility at the ankle joint. Go into our playlist. We've got all those playlist things in there for joints. So you can start working in there. And then above and below, right? So if my knees hurt, I need to look at my feet first, work into this ankle joint, see where my gait is. What's my gait doing? Gait meaning what's my walking? Am I falling into one hip on one side? Is something hurting? And then you're going to look above the joint. So we're looking into the hip joint. Do I sit in one hip? Is one hip really tight? My T-band tight? My hip flexors tight? Where am I tight around the hips? And that's why we worked around the hips also. Are we quad dominant? So am I a runner, but my knees hurt all the time? What's called runner's knee, right? So you may be quad dominant because you're running in this plane of motion all the time. This is what I do. This is my exercise. I run or walk, I run or walk. I'm always going in one plane of motion. That's why when we work out here at 360 Strong Women, I'm always moving you in different planes of motion so that your body is used to being in prone, right side, left side, sitting, walking, and supine, so that you're used to working around the muscles, making them strong around the muscles so that we don't have these issues. Because we want to keep it good. Now, is that going to keep you from always having an injury? Not necessarily. I mean, I still get injured, but I can rehab it back pretty quickly. I do the protocols. So if you have something that is sore, first you're going to check with your doctor and find out what's going on. Did you fall? Is it, a chronic condition, or is it acute condition? And then your protocols. What do I do when I'm injured? Check out my video on what you do when you're injured or what do you do when you're sick. There are protocols in place to help you move forward, keep getting better while you're healing. Those things, meet yourself where you are. As I always say, we have to meet ourselves where we're at so that we can continue to move forward. Everybody's in a different space, moving around the body to stretch around the hip while I'm getting those glutes opened up while I'm talking to you. So I'm just finding my double pigeon. If this is too much for you, we're going to find figure 4 next. My hips are feeling pretty good today, so this side's laying down. I don't think the other side's going to lay down as well. That was good. I'm going to feel that in a few days. So you may get what's called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So what I want you to do is, 1, you're drinking water. 2, you're stretching. Must do to push that lactic acid out. If that's not enough, maybe you need a soak or some Epsom salt. So those are some protocols that you can do when you're really sore. This hip's a little sore, so it's feeling a little tighter, but it's laying down pretty good today. Last week, if you were with me last week, not so much. So been doing some things to help me get there. Okay, I'm going to extend my legs because they've been, and I'm going to do figure 4. So if you need stability for your back, you're going to do this laying down. If you don't need that, you're going to bring one foot close to your glute and figure 4 the other side. Just make sure you're not inhibiting the ankle joint. So if I lay down and support my back, I'm here in figure 4. And I'm just squeezing my knee to my chest. And that feels good too, because that's going to open up everything. Such a good stretch. Beth, I do figure 4 all the time, and when I sit and when I lay down, I'm not really getting that much of a stretch because I do it so much. What can I do? Find a wall. Make it a little bit more intense because there's nowhere for your legs to go, right? So once you're up here, oh baby, you're stretching. So if you need an up level, you're going to find a wall and do figure 4. This is really going to open that up. And then hold that stretch, 30 seconds. If you can't hold it for 30 seconds, go to where you can, meet yourself where you are, and then try a little bit longer next time. Maybe start supine position on your back, and then do it seated like this. So I can move my glutes, right, more intense or less intense, and then go to the wall. So stretch it a little bit before you try the wall. Make sure it's opened up and it's warm. Don't just sit against the wall and try to stretch that out. That's going to be too much for you, too intense. And then go into that. All right. So we have worked our gluteals all around the muscle. Work those hamstrings, work those rotators to help our knees feel better. It's really important that we help the joint systems while we're strengthening muscle groups. So remember, everything works together. And we don't want to separate it out too much. So we want to make sure we're taking care of all the systems. Think about your chain of command, chain of movement, always starting at your feet and working up through the body. And that's going to give you better indication of where you're tight, what you need. If something's hurting, we want to look below and above the joint to figure out where I'm hurting actually the problem, because a lot of times it's not actually the problem. Some people have outside knee issues, but it's actually their IT band that's so tight that it's pulling on their knee joint. So they think they've done something to their knee, but it's actually we need to lengthen and strengthen out that IT band. So I'm working all the way around. Glutes are super important. We tend to forget about them, but we need to squeeze them while we're working, ignite them while we're working. I always say bring your glutes to the party. Don't just leave them hanging around because it's not going to help you. We need to help hold our body up with our core, with our glutes included, because that's part of your core, sitting up really nice and tall, squeezing everything in. It's going to put all that pressure off your low back when they're strong. And then it's also going to help your knee pain and your gait. So super important. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it for you. Leave me comments below. What was your favorite gluteal exercise? And maybe some of the things you would like to see. I would love to hear your stories, what you're going through, so that I can make content that is meaningful for you and not just a push play, do the thing, and make it another day. We want to be connected. I want to understand where you are in this moment in time so that I can make something that's effective for you and efficient for you and purposeful for you. And so that's the goal, to all come together, working on our own journeys, but doing it collectively so that we can help each other and lift each other up. And so until the next video, have a great day. Don't forget to hydrate, and I will see you again. Bye.